With wedding season in full swing, that means it is the perfect time for A24 to release Celine Song's follow-up to Past Lives, Materialists. Let me tell you, I've been waiting for this movie to come out for so long, since like last year. The marketing campaign has been astounding. It's been everywhere. It's been on social media. It's been on billboards. They put like advertisements in the stock market. Even in my day job, I have not been able to escape it. I work as a music blogger, and A24 literally sent my company a press release for when Japanese Breakfast puts out her new song from the movie. Hold on, let me play it for you. Also, if you're a raging pedrosexual like I am, you know just how badly you want to see this movie. Like, if you've been here since my sketch comedy days on this channel, you know how I feel about Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal is a total dilf. Super mega foxy hunkalicious dilf.
But even though the release of Materialists is so awesome, and I cannot wait to see this movie in a theater. By the way, I'm recording this before the movie is released. It is June 9th, I believe. This whole week leading up to the release of the movie is a bit bittersweet for me because I auditioned to be in Materialists. I didn't book it. I would have been in a scene with Dakota Johnson. It hurts so freaking bad. And not only that, I auditioned for this movie with a 104-degree fever. To say that Pedro Pascal could have been a co-star of mine, I fought hard. Okay. If you don't know who I am, hello, my name is Catherine Milewski. I'm an actress with various different credits across indie film, theater, voiceover, and television. And a little over a year ago in 2024, my managers got me an audition for Materialists, and it was exciting. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through my audition, who I auditioned for, what the process was like, and then we're gonna travel to the movie theater together and we're gonna figure out why I did not book this role. And if you're an actor yourself or aspiring filmmaker, hopefully you can learn something from my experience. So get your Cokes and beers ready because we are about to watch my Materialists audition tape. Okay, so if you haven't heard of the plot of the film, let me just briefly break it down for you so that you understand what's going on when we get to the tape. Lucy lives in New York City, really successful matchmaker. She's got like 9 weddings to her name, so she's really good, better than Tinder. She meets this guy, Harry, Pedro Pascal, super rich. They seem to be hitting it off, but then she runs into an old flame, John, Chris Evans. And all of a sudden, we're in a whirlwind of will they or won't they? And also, we kind of learn that Lucy is like not doing good at her job all of a sudden. So yeah, a lot going on. Classic rom-com. I got sent this audition on March 14th, 2024 at 3:56 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's about like 6:56 Eastern Standard Time. I was sent this audition by my talent managers, so I had no access to it on Breakdown Express. I had no idea this was coming. Also, I kid you not, I got this audition like 2 days after I sobbed my eyes out watching Past Lives. So like when I saw the breakdown for this, I was freaking out. So I was slated to audition for a character called Eleanor. The role description is 30s, mousy and harmless, one scene. There's a character in the movie named Charlotte. She's one of Lucy's clients. She's played by Louisa Jacobson, who, fun fact, is Meryl Streep's daughter. So yeah, not only is there one, but 2 Nepo baby actresses in Materialists. So there's a subplot, like I think it's in the beginning of the movie, also light spoiler, but not really much of a spoiler. There's a subplot where Lucy is invited to Charlotte's wedding. Charlotte is freaking out, kind of scared to go through with the experience of the wedding, and Lucy convinces her that everything is okay. She reminds her why she loves her husband, and then Charlotte goes through with the wedding. So Eleanor is a member of Charlotte's bridal party, one of the bridesmaids. Now, no full script of the movie was available at the time, and I was also informed that Eleanor was a bit of a smaller character, like she was gonna have lines, but not a lot. So because there wasn't a lot to audition with for this Eleanor character, they had everyone auditioning for Eleanor read the Charlotte scene. This is pretty common in films, you know, if there's not a lot of lines or material to like audition someone with for one character, they'll have them read for a similar character. Now, the role description for this character is 30s. At the time of auditioning for this, I was 26 years old. I'm someone who tends to book roles who are slightly younger than my age, or I tend to play like around my age. When I saw 30s for this, I had a feeling I probably wasn't gonna book it, but at the same time, I do know from taking screenwriting courses in college that when you aren't really sure what age you want a character to be, the best thing to do is just put 30s, because most experienced actors with like good credits are in their 30s. So going into this, I was like, probably not gonna book it, but you know, if they keep writing the script and if they like me, I do have a shot. But then my confidence just all flew out the window because in the midst of preparing to do this self-tape, I got a sinus infection. I live on the East Coast in New Jersey. Literally every single spring, I always get some kind of cold, some kind of sinus infection. Like I'm literally even getting over a little bit of a sinus cold right now. Like I've been coughing throughout the filming of this whole video. In 2024, it just decided to hit me in mid-March, right when I had this goddamn awesome audition. So I started feeling not so good on March 16th, like the day I was like learning these lines, getting my reps in. And then everything got worse on March 17th. The tape was due March 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So on the 17th, I had no clue what I was gonna do. I always try to get in self-tapes like the day before they're due because the early bird always catches the worm when it comes to self-tapes. But I was dealing with a fever. I felt like absolute trash. My head was killing me. I can't remember if I had chills or if I was just feeling hot and sweaty. I was not in a good state to audition. But at the same time, I wasn't throwing up and vomiting. I still had enough strength to like walk around and talk and move a little bit. And the scene that they sent me, it's just her sitting down and just talking to Lucy. So instead of asking for an extension, because I had no idea what would happen if I asked for an extension, I had no idea if I was gonna get it or not, I decided to make the very bold decision to send in an audition tape with a 104-degree fever. I thought, hey, you know what? If this sucks, at the very least, they'll know I'm committed. And fortunately, with like a sinus infection, you're not contagious. So I was like, okay, I can have my brother like read with me. It'll be fine. I was not going to give up a movie with Pedro Pascal in it without a fight.
No!
Joel! Joel! Before we watch this tape though, I do need to wet my palate. So we are going to try the infamous Coke and beer. I hope Pepsi is okay. I saw on the internet that this is like kind of a German concoction. I'm only gonna put a little bit in because I'm really terrified. Hey, drinking a Miller Lite on camera. I am not a good influence for the kids. It's Miller time. Oh God, I'm nervous about this. All right, Dakota Johnson, let's see if your taste buds are just as good as your matchmaking. Yeah, that's not that bad. That's not bad. Needs a little bit more Pepsi though. Second sip. That's not bad. That's actually not bad. It's weird, but it's not disgusting. Okay, so first they asked to send in a full body slate. So first we are going to watch my slate. Oh boy, already I can tell I'm not looking good in this. I look so freaking pale. Also, I chose this white short dress to suggest a wedding dress. I mean, when you're auditioning for a bride, I'm sure any white thing works. Hi, I'm Catherine Maluski. I am 5'2" and I'm based in New York City. Just please keep in mind that I am sick. Okay, you can hear, like you can literally hear it in my nose too. I have some kind of mucus buildup, sinus buildup. Oh boy, I feel so bad for myself right now. I am sick while recording this, either a cold or a sinus infection. I just took my temperature and I have a 100.4 degree fever. So that's great. So I feel well enough to do the scene, but just please keep in mind that I am sick and it's, you know, probably not my greatest work, but yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for your consideration. Oh God. I can only imagine what Douglas Abel was thinking as he was watching that. Also, I remember I chose not to wear makeup for this tape, in which normally a person would be wearing makeup because I just felt like so out of it. Like I just did not have the strength or the brain power to put on makeup. But at the same time, I remember like I thought it might help me because she was like in such distress to like kind of show that she's not doing well in this situation, which maybe wasn't too bad of a decision because I remember watching a small clip of the scene that got released on social media and Louisa Jacobson, her eye makeup is smudged. So like I just wanted to show that Charlotte wasn't doing okay. All right, and without further ado, let's actually watch the tape.
Hi everyone. I need 5 minutes alone with her.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right here at 5 seconds. I was drinking water because I remember in the script it said that she was like drinking alcohol, like a lot of alcohol. From what I've seen from like the clips that they've shown on social media before the release of the movie, I haven't seen her drinking, so I don't know if that's something that they kept into the movie. But when they shared the script originally, she was supposed to be like a bit tipsy, a bit drunk, a bit intoxicated, which I guess would influence one's decision to not go through with a marriage.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Lucy.
How are you holding up?
Not good.
How many drinks you had?
More than I should have.
I might be a little bit too expressive here. Not sure.
What's going on is that I am a modern woman. Okay? I could have been anything. And
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Yeah, I can tell that I wasn't super familiar with the lines, and that like okay that I added there I felt was like a bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a tell. Like just watching that back to like, I can tell because I know myself like when acting. I hate that I added in that okay because it just, it put in some cheese there. Like I had watched past lives going into this, so I knew that this needed to be subdued, but I do know as an actress, type-wise, I tend to be cast in projects with like a little bit more kookiness, a little bit more expression, a little bit more silliness, a little bit more goofiness. So like tonally tried to match Celine's song movie vibes, but yeah, I feel like just me type-wise with like the project that I book, I'm not sure if I completely fit into this universe because of my expressiveness. Like the clips I've seen of Louisa, she's definitely a bit more mellow, laid back, a little bit more whispery. I mean, Dakota Johnson is that way too. I guess part of me also thought that like because Dakota Johnson, when she delivers her lines, she tends to be a bit softer. I thought that maybe I needed to be louder with this character, which not working here, not working here. Between the sickness and probably not understanding the tone of the scene very well, you know, probably not off to a great start, Katie. Ooh, let me drink my Coke and beer again. Okay, now that was a good sip. It needs more Coke or Pepsi as opposed to beer to taste good. That beer adds a little bit of a, I don't know, citrusy element, it almost feels like. I don't know. I'm not a beer person, anyways.
but I chose to be a bride. I chose all of this. And it's not like I needed to get married to forge a relationship between two kingdoms. It's not like my family needed a cow.
Love that line.
I just chose this. I just chose to marry a man.
I hate my expressions
Wanna get
here.
married today?
I have to.
Why?
My parents paid so much money for this damn wedding. They paid hundreds of thousands of dollars just to make me feel like a fucking woman.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. I actually did kind of like that part. I feel like it was definitely also a little bit difficult for me to relate to this character as I have never been married ever, but I do understand what it's like to have like parental or familial pressure on you or just any kind of pressure. So I could definitely see in my eyes like, oh my God, I'm just so over it. I just like, I'm done. Like I'm burnt out from this. So I guess like the middle of this, I was starting to maybe find the tone of the scene a little bit better.
Charlotte, who cares about the money? Who cares about anything except the rest of your life? Marriage is a business deal. It's always been from the very first time people did it. So you can always walk away if the deal isn't good. But as the person who introduced you to Peter, I'll walk out of here with you. So tell me, do you not want to get married today?
I want to get married.
To Peter.
I think. Oh God, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Ask yourself.
Okay, I
why
liked
do you
that.
really, in your
That felt real.
ugliest part of yourself, want to marry Peter?
Okay, scenes like these in auditions are so freaking hard, you know, because she's in tears, she's crying, and it's so difficult to work up those waterworks realistically and not go over the top with it. Sometimes they say it's like better to hold back tears than to actually let the tears flow because it's like, it shows like a strength in the character that you're playing. I'm kind of happy that's what I'm doing here. My face has a little bit more color in it. It looks a little bit more red. I can't tell if that's because like I was trying to like work myself more up emotionally and my cheeks were getting flushed, or if it was because I waited a little bit between filming the slate and then filming the scene. So I was doing like a hair bit better with my fever while I was doing this. In any case, I do feel like this middle part of the tape that I submitted is probably my strongest part.
And I promise you, I've heard every reason a person gets married to someone. None of it is shocking or wrong or crazy to me.
Okay.
And it'll be a secret between you and me.
You can see in my eyes that I'm like thinking and processing.
You promise it'll be a secret.
I promise.
Like, you're not gonna tell anyone, not a soul. It's so bad.
I'll take it to my grave.
You can see like the friendship I have with her. Not bad, not bad.
He makes my sister jealous. He does. She hasn't even said anything, but I know that it's totally true because she thinks that Peter is better than her husband because he's got a better job, he's better looking, he's taller. And it just makes me feel like I've won.
I could have been less expressive, but I do like the intention. I could have been less loud too.
So this is about value. Peter makes you feel valuable.
He does, he really does, yeah.
And does that make you want to marry him?
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Yeah, I remember they told me during this part that like she breaks down sobbing. I remember it was so hard to work up to that point. As you can see, I'm like putting my hands in front of my eyes, which probably means that I wasn't really working up to real tears. I was just trying to fake it. The emotion was kind of there. Definitely the tears were not there. It's so hard to make yourself cry during an audition when you don't have like that much preparation. But then I remember it gets even trickier because you'll see in this next part, you'll see.
Hey, you're not crying anymore.
No.
Okay, stop there. See? So like, she cries and then she's not crying anymore, or like Dakota Johnson is telling her to not cry anymore. So it's like boohoo, 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 and then like, clarity, level-headedness, sudden optimism. Very, very tricky. Very, very tricky scene to send over, especially while I was sick. My head was still not feeling great, so like it was probably all kerfuffled in my brain. But hey, at the very least I communicated and got there, so I guess that's all that matters.
When I first met you, you told me you thought you'd die alone. Sitting here, looking at you.
I gotta stop biting my lip so much.
Wedding, getting married,
Or like going this, like this.
I can promise.
See, I did it again, I go like this. Okay, I liked that little okay that I added in there at the end. Not my worst tape I've ever submitted, but honestly, yeah, no. I do think I did have some good nuggets in there. I do think the middle part was definitely my strongest part. Maybe I was just going for like more stereotypical rom-com for this, and I needed to lean more into Celine song drama. That's the hard part about doing self-tapes sometimes, especially for directors whose work you're already familiar with, because I was familiar with Celine song doing dramas. I had no idea what a Celine song rom-com was going to look like. And so I guess I played it a little bit more up, a little bit more theatrical, and yeah, no. Watching the trailer and just getting the vibes of the movie, it's still very Celine song drama grounded. But yeah, again, I don't think it was the worst thing I've ever submitted ever. I just wish I was not sick during this. I would have done like a hair better if I hadn't been sick. I think I would have been a little bit more relaxed and less nervous as well. Also, I think it was tricky as well because this scene, Charlotte is a bit more outspoken and maybe a little bit brash, but then for the character description of Eleanor, she's very mousy and kind of small. So I didn't know whether to go into this following the directions of the scene or just acting like the character that I was supposed to be cast as. Probably should have done the latter, looking back. All right, so now that we've finished this tape, I'm gonna take you on a little field trip. Wow!
Field trip!
And we're gonna go to the movie theater and we're gonna watch Materialists and figure out how the scene was actually performed and why I didn't book it. All right, are you ready? Let's go.
Hello there. So I just finished Materialists in the movie theater. Oh my god, I almost cried at the end. I'm so sorry. Pedro Pascal's absolute dreaminess just completely made me forget what I was gonna say about the scene that I auditioned with. I do want to mention the woman who got cast in the role that I auditioned for, like actually auditioned for, Eleanor, the part was. Her name is Sietske Rose, I believe. I actually realized I don't think the character was a bridesmaid in the film. I think the character was one of the clients, actually. I don't know how I got that idea that my character was a bridesmaid, or I don't know. I will say, though, I do have a lot of thoughts both about Charlotte's scene that I performed and then also the character that I auditioned for. So for the Charlotte scene, I actually realized I was kind of beating myself up a little bit. How Louisa Jacobson performed it, it was very emotionally charged, so I don't think that I, like, flopped it. Now watching her and, like, seeing her do it, I'm like, oh, I was actually, like, pretty much on the right track. Could I have been more subdued? Yes, but just the way that she did it, like, she built it up. She started off the scene very, like, quietly angry and distressed, and then it kind of just kept building and building and building and building. She was also a lot more analytical in her anger as opposed to just me being more chaotic in my anger. I think like a theme in the movie is like, you know, these characters sort of doing math when it comes to like investing in their partners. So I needed to be a little bit more mathematical in my analysis of like why I wasn't supposed to marry Peter. The part where she was admitting like the ugly reason why she wanted to marry Peter, it came from a place more of like guilt. Like she was really scared to say it. Whereas I was like chatting the shit with my best friend when I told Lucy that like, oh yeah, you know, he makes my sister jealous. Ha 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 ha. But honestly, after watching Louisa's performance, yeah, no, I don't feel so bad about what I turned in, actually. And if the character of Eleanor is who I think it is in the movie, that character was very funny in her scene. Like, mousy and definitely weird, but also very funny. Honestly, it probably was a little bit better that I did play the scene a bit more expressive and comedic. Dare I say even goofier. When I auditioned for her, the full script wasn't written yet, so that's probably why they had us just do the Charlotte scene, because it was at the beginning of the film. Yeah. But yeah, that was such a trip. I really want to rewatch this movie with my friends and family. Also, this movie really hits home if you're an actor. I didn't expect this movie partly to be about the struggling actors out there. So I think with this whole self-tape journey, yeah, the field trip was worth it, guys. The field trip was worth it.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content related to my acting journey, acting advice, filmmaking advice, entertainment industry advice. Do you think I should have asked for an extension while sick for my Materialists self-tape? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram account is @KatieIsALadybug. Unfortunately, I am very slow when it comes to posting YouTube videos. I just can't afford to post that many all at once just with my lifestyle. Plus, announcement, I am moving to Los Angeles by the summer's end. I'm moving in with my boyfriend. I'm so excited. Terrified, but very excited. So that probably also means no new videos anytime soon, but I'm very excited to take you all on the journey with me. All right, Pedrosexuals, until next time, bye.